Hey y'all, this is Liberated Love Notes, a podcast on Living Corporate Network hosted by yours truly, Brittany Janay, creator of Liberated Love Notes, critical self-reflections and affirmations for the culture. Y'all already know Liberated Love Notes is your source for weekly doses of self-reflection, affirmation, and reimagining for us, by us. Y'all, life has been lifing, right? I didn't get a chance to connect with y'all last week, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't necessarily been keeping up with my weekly cadence. Y'all, and as much as I consider myself and have shared previously that I'm this perpetual wanderer. I refrain from overthinking, a perpetual wanderer with all these questions and thoughts. Sometimes, y'all, I don't really be feeling like thinking. I don't really be feeling like thinking and processing and reflecting. Sometimes, no, don't get me wrong, the processing, the reflecting, the sharing is absolutely a source of relief. It's a source of joy. It feels reparative, restorative. And other days, I'd much rather binge watch Godfather, Harlem, or Manifest. Last weekend, y'all, I chose the latter. And I also want to be accountable. I want to be accountable to my promise to y'all. I can't be out here talking about weekly doses and then skipping weeks. I mean, I can, and I strive and will continue to do better. I mean, I can, but I'm going to strive to do better. My goal is actually, just for y'all awareness, my goal, I told myself that I would strive to hit 20 episodes before I took a break in some time just to prepare for another season. And so hold me accountable, y'all. Hold me accountable. Speaking of another season, do me a favor. Shoot me a note, a message on Instagram at Liberated Love Notes, or via email, me@brittanyjanay.com. Let me know what you'd like to hear more about, or perhaps how you like to see the show evolve into the future. I've been thinking about alternate formats and how I want to continue to just evolve the platform, whether it's having on guests, like everyday Black people, to just process in community some of our reflections, or maybe even a season that's like dedicated to, meditations of sorts. I'm open, y'all. And so do me a favor, hit me up. I absolutely want to hear from you. This week, I ain't going to keep you long, although I feel like I say that often and then it wind up hitting, 20 minutes. But for real, I ain't going to keep you long. I want to process something that I tracked in a session that I facilitated for work a few weeks back. It got me thinking about one of my favorite Liberated Love Notes from the deck. When I say the deck, y'all already know Liberated Love Notes started out as an affirmation card deck. If you haven't already gotten yours, go ahead over to the site and copy one. One of my favorite love notes from the deck, it reads, "There will be moments when I feel like I do not belong. I will not internalize those moments as a deficiency in me. Not only do I belong, I am worthy of taking up space. Not only do I belong, I am worthy of taking up space. I am worthy of taking up space. I am worthy of taking up space." I was facilitating a session a few weeks back, y'all, and when I tell you brilliant group, a group that was predominantly Black and brown, bomb, like everybody in that room, brilliant. It's just like no debating it. I carved out time for folks to do introductions. Who are you? What do you do? Because in these streets we differentiate. Who am I? What do I do? Who are you? What do you do? How are you entering? I tracked this theme as I was listening to folks respond more specifically to the, who are you and what do you do questions. I tracked this theme that in as much as this were an opportunity for folks to share their accomplishments and backgrounds, there was this tendency to downplay. I tracked this tendency where folks were downplaying their own brilliance, their own light. Stuff like, I work in this role and basically I do this, leading with basically. Ain't nothing basic about it, baby. Or I have a little business of my own and I do a little business, right? Another tendency was this downplaying of their belongingness, their worthiness of being in a space, including in their introduction, I don't even know how I got in this room. I was nervous to share because y'all are just so brilliant. Now, sure, a lot of it was playful. And I think there is something there, right? I think about this shared collective experience as I was reflecting on how they were sharing and just this theme, questioning one's belongingness. There is this shared collective experience most, if not all of us, are familiar with, of questioning whether or not we belong, questioning whether or not we are worthy to be in the room. Now, in the context, right, of a system of domination influenced by white supremacy, patriarchy, colonialism, capitalism, whatever you want to call it, we can almost always look forward to that hypercritical white gaze and whisper on our shoulder, distracting us from our inherent capacity to shine and to be. I'm going to say that again, right? I think about how we all have experienced this shared collective experience where we have questioned whether or not we belong, and how a system of domination influenced by white supremacy, capitalism, patriarchy, colonialism will absolutely have us zoning in on and distracted by the white gaze and whisper on our shoulder, distracting us from our inherent capacity to shine, to just be. I love it when Toni Morrison says the function, it's one of my favorite quotes of hers, the function, the very serious function of racism is distraction. It keeps you from doing your work. It keeps you explaining over and over again your reason for being, whether or not you belong. Somebody says you have no language and you spend 20 years proving that you do. Somebody says your head isn't shaped properly, so you have scientists working on the fact that it is. Somebody says you have no art, so you dredge that up. Somebody says you have no kingdoms, so you dredge that up. None of this, she says, none of this is necessary. There will always be one more thing. There will always be one more thing. The function, the very serious function of racism is distraction. That critical self-talk is a distraction. That inclination to undermine your brilliance is a distraction. Those playful sentiments that perhaps you're using to assuage the lie that is imposter syndrome, that is a distraction. Not only do you belong, you are worthy of taking up space. Not only do I belong, I am worthy of taking up space. I just want to affirm that you're worthy of owning your brilliance. Not only are you worthy of owning your brilliance, you are worthy of articulating your brilliance. Y'all, I know we ain't our work. That don't mean we can't shine and be proud of it. You are worthy of being in community with folks who are just as brilliant in their own way. And you ain't got to doubt yourself. You are worthy of being in community with folks who are just as brilliant in their own way. And that don't compromise your shine. You are worthy of embodying not just the confidence of a mediocre white man, but you are worthy of embodying the fervor, the fierceness, the passion and command of your ancestors and elders. Those that created, survived, thrived, made magic with everything they touch. Act like that. I'm gonna need y'all to put some respect on the brilliance and power that is within you. Not only do you belong, you're worthy of taking up space. It's in you. Ain't no little business, right? Ain't no, I got this little business. You shifting the culture. Ain't no, I just do this basically. Nah, you changing your world. How you can, when you can, for generations to come. Ain't nothing basically about that. Stop saying basically, y'all. Ain't nothing basic about what we doing. You out here centering community and Black liberation. I mean, you should be, you better be. You out here centering Black liberation and what you do. And so take up that space. We rooting for you. Ain't no question of whether or not you belong in the room. Frankly, they double bless. That's something that my grandfather says, double bless. They double bless. Ain't no question of whether or not you belong in the room. They are double blessed, as my grandfather would say, to have you. As you go into the week, I want you to remember that. Not only do you belong, you are worthy of taking up space. Peace.